in about 2 minutes. So get comfortable, get yourself something to drink or whatever you like to do. And we have a lot of content to cover. So we may or may not get through the mental exercise during this particular webinar, but I promise you, I will send you a link to this webinar, and I'll also send you an ebook to help you with some of the questions that I'll be asking you about purposeful living. And that way it'll make it easier for you to follow up with your assignments. Yes, you have an assignment, okay? All right. I'll see you in a little bit, all right? Hang in there. I'll be right back. And if you can hear me, please let me know that you can hear me just fine. If not, so I can call my tech and make some adjustments, all right? So I would appreciate if you can hear me, to let me know that you can hear me. And if you have any questions or anything you want to share with me, please go ahead and do share your questions and commentaries with me. So somebody, Lily, if you're there, let me know if you can hear me, okay? That's not a very pretty picture of me there, is it? All right, good. All right, if I'm talking. Okay, great. Thanks, Lily. I really appreciate it. Okay, great, Gloria. Thank you so much. Happy that you can hear me as well. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you on board. I really look forward to these times that we have together. And this one for me is probably a little more special than most. Lily, who is on the call tonight, is a very dear friend of mine, and I love her dearly. And she, I've talked about her before because I use the Isogenics products, and Lily was the one who turned me on to the Isogenics products that I really appreciate. And I was hanging out with Lily recently because one of my younger sister passed away a week ago today. So I get a little emotional, and for me, I was so looking forward to doing this webinar because I think I probably need it more than any of you guys do. You know how it goes. And she was my younger sister. She followed me, and she was a special needs person. She had a lot of challenges and struggles throughout her life. She was born, with basically she was born struggled by the umbilical cord, and so they had to revive her when she was upon being born. She was totally black and from lack of oxygen, and so she suffered brain damage. So I guess her life was always a struggle, and it certainly was a real struggle with brain damage, although she was very smart, and she got married, and she left us 2 beautiful daughters, and I was so grateful to her for all that she gave. She gave so much. And tonight's topic really resonates with me a lot because in part because of her, because it's only been a week since she passed away, and having had special needs and having those struggles, I asked myself, what was then her particular gift that she had? What was her purpose in life? And it made me think about that for tonight's webinar. And I thought about the fact that sometimes maybe for some people, like my sister Delia, who had special needs, and she was bipolar schizophrenic due to brain damage, and as she got older, maybe sometimes it's to help others find their purpose as well. Maybe her purpose in life was for that. She was really smart though, and she was very challenging in many ways. And she was very loving and funny and had this amazing laughter. And she was stubborn, all these kind of great things. Yet, I think she taught us so much about compassion and patience and understanding and love and unconditional love. And I thought about all these things as I was preparing for tonight's webinar, because everybody has purpose. And I think it's really, really, really important for us to understand that everybody has purpose. and we have gifts to share. So I want to say now hi to everyone and welcome to this free webinar called Purposeful Living. It's really designed to create a specific mind, a frame of mind that will help you to get maybe some kind of clarity of some of the most important areas of your life. How often do we ask the questions, what is the purpose of my life or my existence? Why am I here? And what is life all about? I mean, these questions come to mind over and over and over again. For thousands of years, these questions of purpose, sometimes their callings and visions, have been the subject of scientific or religious. There are many schools of thought that have proposed answers to these questions from an endless variety of backgrounds. But the real fact remains that these questions have as many answers as there are people asking these questions. That being said, what appears to be most important in lieu of the lack of consensus is for you to find answers to those questions, answers that resonate with you at all levels. And you decide once and for all, what is your purpose for existing, your callings in life, and the vision that you want to create for your future. Because let's face it, all of this is subjective in nature. You may need to dig deep inside into your core to find those answers that resonate with your unique identity, or maybe simply pay a little bit more attention to your life. There's no right or wrong answer. Yet there are answers that you can live by and will bring great joy to your living experience once you take the first step forward in discovering your purpose and callings and the vision that you want to create for yourself. When you do, many doors will start opening that expose the values that you are very attached to or that have been guiding your life all your life. They've always been with you. The very values that will help you form the vision that will guide your life moving forward in the years to come. In this webinar, there are 3 areas that I'd like to touch upon. And although most of the time there's a strong focus on purpose and mission and vision, I think tonight we're going to address purpose, callings, and vision, with the emphasis maybe more on callings. And I say that in part because a lot of us really start digging into what's my purpose in life? What am I here for? And really, we were born human. We were born to live a life that's human, to the physical life. And I think when we understand that, our purpose may be just that. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you think is your purpose in life, or what is the most important thing? Are you looking for that little special kind of a dream to give you that knowledge? Are you waiting for someone to tell you what it is? It doesn't always happen that way, Sometimes we really need to just decide for ourselves, decide on what our purpose is based on your life and living experience. I think that's the clearest message. Gloria says, sorry for your loss and comforting prayers your way. Thank you so much, Gloria. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. But that's, we'll continue, but start thinking. I want to hear from you. And although purpose, calling, and vision may seem to address the same thing, these words are often used interchangeably. And they each have a very specific meaning, though, and can impact our lives in different and profound ways. So I'm so happy that you're here for this webinar, and I'm really happy that we'll have this time together to discuss these things. And as always, the information on tonight's workshop is pretty new, that things I come up with and try to give to you as the workshops come up. So it's all for you, and I have personally used some of this content and ask these questions about my own personal life. So a lot of it does come from personal experience, obviously, and the knowledge of Silva that I have. You will have an exercise that I'll send you. I don't think I'll be able to cover it, in this workshop, but I'll send it to you in a link with a follow-up email together with an ebook. And the ebook is for you to be able to follow up with an assignment. You have homework, okay? You have homework, and And I hope you do the homework, because it'll help open up some of those doors to understanding why you're here and create that vision for you moving forward. So before we go any further, let's get some working definitions to use for this webinar. When we speak of life purpose, we're talking about the reason for which you exist. The question that begs to be asked is, whose reason? It would seem that because it is your life, we're talking about it should be your reason and not somebody else's idea as to why we're here, not somebody else's maybe feeling as to what is the purpose for us being alive and our reason for existing. It has to come from you. You know better than anybody else. Remember, you have the answers. You have them deep within yourself. And so what I'd like to do in this webinar is kind of like dig out from deep within you, what are the answers to some of the questions, because you know what they are. Trust in you. So in a moment, you're going to go through a short exercise, maybe that will add clarity to your life purpose or a reason for existing. Calling now is a powerful force of attraction, steering you in one direction or another. I know for a fact that I have had so many callings, and some of my callings have not been all that good, but they happen in life for a reason, I think. And I think the reason is to learn lessons. I've been called to hang out with wrong people or to be married to the wrong person. I've been called to be a mother, to be a wife, to be a sister. I've been called to be president of Silva International. I mean, I have had many callings in my life. And each one of those callings, I left with more wisdom, understanding, clarity, and purpose. You learn throughout life. And I think it's really important that you understand that callings and your values are probably more important than what is my purpose in life, because your purpose in life is probably just to be a human being existing. But how you live that existence really depends on you. And we're talking about calling being a powerful force of attraction that steers you in one direction or another. And that force of attraction comes from within, and that spiritual part of who you are. And you have had and will continue to have many callings throughout your life. Going through life without paying attention to your callings is like setting sail without a destination in mind or a map to get you there. Pay attention to those callings. Let's go back and think, when did I have these callings? What were these callings? What have I done throughout my life? Because a lot of times we call them vocations. A lot of times we call them, I don't know, just things that we did in our life. But we were called or pulled to do something, to be with someone, to whatever it might be. But there's got to be a thread there somewhere. There's got to be something that very much defines who you are and why you're here, that helps you to identify your gifts and your talents, because those gifts and talents and values have always been there. I remember when I was a little girl, my brother telling me that I was always a real chatty person. And I think it's funny because I'm still a chatty person. I present seminars, and I do webinars, and I do teleconferences, and I record audios and videos and audio programs. And I'm always talking. I'm very chatty. And it seems odd to think that I've always been, to remember my brother saying I was always a chatty person or a chatty little girl. And I'm still grew up to be a chatty young woman and a chatty older woman, if you want to call it that. And I think it's just part of who I am. And it's how you then channel your talents and gifts that is going to probably define, your purpose, your callings, and the vision that you can create for your life. Your life callings are your guides in life, helping you turn guesses into good decisions, to see the possibilities around you and recognize opportunities when they arrive. Without these callings, you're not likely to see what the love that surrounds you, the goodness that comes your way, and the positive impact that you make to other people as well. Without these callings, I think life becomes a series of problems and setbacks, heartbreaks and disappointments. And far too often, the life lessons are missed But the callings, when you're paying attention to them, allow you to notice the life lessons that then define your character, that then allow you to see the values that you've carried along the way, calling after calling, and you're able then to make sense in the light of your callings, what your purpose is all about. So we're going to talk, I know it sounds very jumbly and all that kind of stuff, and I hope I'm making sense here, because it really is important to me that, that you're with me along the way. It's important that, we begin to really discern and pull together some idea as to what we're here to do. And creating that mental image of your future, is something that's really important as well. A lot of this is something you're going to have to choose and decide on. It's something that you have been, probably doing all your life. And with your Silva techniques, such as the mirror of the mind or imagery, you'll be able to piece things together more rapidly or more readily. Simply put, your purpose gives you the reason why you exist. So your callings gives meaning and value to your life and to your vision. And your vision shows you the way. So let's start with life purpose. I guess I mentioned earlier that your life purpose is reflective of the reason you exist. In fact, your mere existence can be your purpose. And the fact that you do exist automatically gives you the right to exist, to be. Nonetheless, the reason you believe you exist is personal and unique. And it's just that, it's a belief. So there's no law that says, or no guideline, no big, huge guideline. Yes, there are maybe recommendations as to how you can dig in and find your life purpose, but when it's all said and done, it really is going to depend on your beliefs. Now, you can choose to believe that you came into being for a valuable reason and that your life has great meaning, or choose to believe that there's nothing, the least bit special about your existence. The choice is truly yours to make. Yet if you search deep enough, you're going to discover that you have value and worth that is unique, and no one else on this planet has the same talents and gives in exactly the same way. You are special. By positively directing your unique talents and gifts, you can make valuable contributions during your lifetime and bring great joy to your existence. Without a reason for existing, you're living aimlessly, allowing outside influences to affect you and those closest to you as well. It's your choice. Your life purpose, or living on purpose, is your choice. It may be more fulfilling for you to choose to believe that your reason for being here is twofold. Your inner purpose, where you can choose to be a joyous expression of love, and your outer purpose, by which you are able to express that love. Ralph Waldo Emerson is quoted saying that the crowning fortune of man is to be born to some pursuit which finds him employment, happiness, whether it is to make baskets or bratwursts or canals or statues or songs. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to have some pursuit that finds you joy more than anything else. When my babies they're already all grown up, but when they were babies or they were younger, I used to tell them to pay attention to what they love to do. And it didn't matter what it was that they loved to do, whether it was going to be making bows, for gift presents, or making whatever it was. It didn't really matter. That the most important thing was that they had a passion for it and they loved doing it. Because when you do what you love, as the book says, the money will follow, the joy will follow. And quite frankly, my eldest, although he studied to be a graphic artist and he's an amazing artist, his real passion was playing the guitar. And I think a lot of families, don't usually encourage their children to play the guitar, but that was his passion. And my husband and I noticed that that was his passion, and we always encouraged him, go for it, do what you want. Why are you going for graphic arts when you're a musician? Why are you wasting your time with something that you like, but you don't love? And we kept encouraging him, and he continued then. He made a decision to continue on to follow his passion. And I think I may have told you before that having done that, he was able to create a great career. He's won a Grammy Award, has been nominated for 2, and he's a producer, he's a songwriter, he does music for movies, and he produces a lot of big artists. He lives in Austin, Texas. He has a very fruitful and satisfying and thriving life. Our second child, she went for linguistics and anthropology, and we thought, like, why are you doing that? Your passion is dance. Why aren't you dancing? And of course, she had this attitude or this idea that, well, is there a business? Is there money to be made in that? And I said, if it's your passion, yes, the money will always follow. And sure enough, she changed her mind after getting her degree in anthropology and linguistics. She then pursued her Master's of Fine Arts in dance, and now she's a very well-known professional flamenco dancer, and she tours all over the world. And our youngest, went for hospitality, and really her passion was in cooking and being a chef, and she again followed her passion. And it's not always easy to follow your passion, and it takes a lot of courage to do that because you commit yourself to that. But when you do what you love, the joy does follow. Any conclusion you make about your life's purpose will really need to rely on your spiritual, religious, or personal beliefs, and not much else, since there's no definitive, scientific, provable, and measurable evidence to why we exist, to why anything exists for that matter, other than it does. Taking that into consideration, it may be valuable for you to form a belief that you can lean on and that resonates with your core. You can use this belief as the code by which you live. I always tell people, choose belief that you can live by. And I think it's really important that we recognize that we can choose the beliefs that bring us joy, that open doors of opportunities, that make a big difference to our life and our living existence. For example, I believe I was meant to be. I originated from a universal source of energy that is divine, intelligent, intuitive, loving, creative, and essential. A universal source of energy that possesses all of the omni qualities known and experiences itself through me and all creation. I believe I am one with my Creator and therefore have the essence of those qualities in me. I respectfully, lovingly, and joyfully accept that fact and will use my abilities to make positive contributions in my lifetime. That's my belief. And because I have that belief, I'm able to follow through with that. And I truly believe that I am creating the image of the Creator in that sense. So I have this ability to sense information, to solve problems, to help other people, to do good deeds. But that's my belief. And with that belief, I serve so many people. With that belief, I follow my passion. With that belief, actually the joy follows, and not to mention, of course, the money follows. What belief do you create, or choose, I should say, choose to create that defines your purpose for being? This is important to write down, and although I'm not going to give you time to write it down right now, this would take a whole lot of time to do, I will send you that ebook, and in that ebook, you'll have a space for you to think about what belief do you choose to obtain, to own, that is going to define the path that you are going to live by, the belief, the code that you will live by. A lot of times we're always, it's about being, it's about doing, it's about creating. But so many times we linger on being, doing, and having. Being, doing, and having. And it's about more doing and having, doing and having, doing and having. We spend so much time just doing to have more money, to have more items, more possessions, a bigger house, a nicer car, to have more time, to take vacations, and that's all good. But we don't stop we don't stop to think about our being. If we really start to focus about our being, then we might focus more on the things that are near and dear to our being, our talents and our gifts, the things that bring us joy, the things that connect us to passion. Throughout life, our experiences mold the life that we live at any given moment. Typically, we find ourselves working hard to do and have, yet pay little attention, like I said, to the being part. It is in recognizing and appreciating our beingness or our being that we're able to discover and fulfill our life's calling and live a life fueled by our vision of what we can create. So we might want to transform doing to have to being to do to create. Not just doing to have, but let's focus on our being to do to create. One thing is for sure, we are unique. Each and every single one of us is so unique and special. We are all really special individuals, and I can't resonate with that more after just having gone through what I have just gone through. Each of us has gifts we seem to possess upon our conception and talents that we develop throughout our lifetime. What we are called to do in our lifetime can be a channel to express our unique gifts and talents and satisfy the cravings of our soul. You have those answers. You know what it is. Let's dig a little bit deeper. And everything can be expressed in any type of work that you do. Sometimes we think, I have to find the kind of work that expresses my purpose in life. But that's not necessarily true. Your purpose in life, which is to be, and the values that you hold, that you learn and have carried with you throughout your life, can be expressed in any kind of job that you do. We often mistake job for our purpose. They're not connected. They can be, but not necessarily. It's ideal that you can work at a kind of a job or do some kind of work that resonates with your purpose and callings and your values. But your purpose, callings, and values can be expressed in any work that you do. It doesn't matter what kind of work that you do. It can be expressed in any type of work that you do because it is value-based more than it is skill-based, and it can change many times throughout our life. Aside from listening to and following our inner voice, we need to find the best that is within us, that has greater meaning and is deeply satisfying. It's about following your inner voice, about preparing and cultivating your inner consciousness to make it fertile for new ideas and concepts. It's about following your heart and giving the gifts that are inside you. But you got to get to know yourself a little bit better. So the following questions are designed to help you to get to know yourself a bit better. You will have these questions on the ebook that I'm going to be sending you. And so I want to make sure that when you get the ebook and you open it up and you start to answer these questions, to go into an area where you won't be interrupted. Turn off your cell phone. Take a few moments to relax and free your mind and imagine living a life of great joy. And then start writing down the first thing that pops into your mind after you read the question. Don't spend too much time on trying to figure out nothing. It's not about that. It's about allowing your spirit to talk. So write down quickly and don't edit anything. So I think that's the best approach to take. Let your spirit talk, and your spirit can talk and express itself clearly through your thinking and through your speech if you don't give it your brain, your logic too much to think. So one of the questions is going to be this: what do you expect it would feel like to live out your life's calling? I don't know, maybe you don't know what it is just now, but if you were living out your life's calling or your purpose, what would that feel like to you? What do you believe it would feel like to you? How would that make a difference to you to wake up every morning knowing that you had this? Another question is, what causes do you strongly believe in? I know that, my husband and I believe in helping others. We're always helping people who are suffering. We're always giving to charities. We're always, working towards helping the orphans and children. And so we believe a lot in that. So we want to contribute more of our time and energy in helping children. And that's one of the big, you know, things, projects that I have in mind that I'm working on, is how to make it easier to help the children in the world, who don't have necessarily access to these kinds of tools and these kinds of concepts, how to make it, very available to them. Another question is going to be, what experiences throughout your entire life have you found most rewarding, inspiring, touching, enjoyable, and meaningful? And then what about now? What are some of those most rewarding experiences that you can think of in your life? As you look back in your life, what brought great rewards to you? And what brought great joy? What activities, is another question, what activities make you lose track of time? I know I love to talk. I know I mentioned already, I know. But when I do seminars or when I'm doing webinars, I know sometimes I just talk so much, and not having an audience in front of me, sometimes it's hard to regulate my talking, because I just go off on tangents and talk about a lot of things. But when I'm in an audience, I can get lost in time. I don't think about breaks. I don't think about anything. I feel like I'm channeling information when I'm doing a seminar. And sometimes I hear about the quality or the content of the seminar, and I'm thinking like, gee, wow, I said all that? That's pretty amazing, because I just allow it just to flow. I lose track of time. I also lose track of time when I'm painting or writing. I lose track of time when I'm cooking or gardening. These are some of the things that I just love to do. I love to talk, express. I love to write, and I love to paint and cook and garden. I don't know, what do you love to do that when you do it, you lose track of time? Another question would be, what do you do to serve and help others? Because we're not here alone, and we didn't come here alone. I think we need to start looking at, what do I do that help other people? Which of your talents and gifts are involved when you do help others? Is it your tools? Is it consolation? Is it strategies that you share, ideas? I mean, what is it love and compassion? Is it just listening, being a good sounding board? What are the things that you do when you help other people? And what do people say you're good at? I listen to other people talk about some of the things that maybe I do, and I'm always surprised to hear that, oh gosh, you did this so well. I have a hard time saying thank you about those things, because to me, it just comes to me. It's just part of what I do. It's part of what I'm here to do, and to be, I guess, given compliments over it sometimes is a little challenging for me. But what are the things that you do that people say you're good at? I think it's important for you to reflect on that as well. Now, another question, if you could teach something, what would you teach? If you had a chance to teach somebody or others a talent, a lesson, a learning, a training, a gift, to share with them something, what would you be teaching them? What's your strong point? What do you feel confident teaching? Because I think that says a lot about who you are and what you are capable of doing. Another question, what work would you love to do if you had all the money and time you needed already? Or if all the work paid the same? If all the work paid the same, you had all the time and money in the world, what would you be doing? I would be doing the same thing pretty much, maybe putting a little bit more time at home, but I would do pretty much the same thing. And I always find that to be, pretty cool, because I think like I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing. As a child, another question, remember what you were told that you were good at, and how great that made you feel. What was it? What were you good at? What about when you were a young teenager? What about now? I was also very athletic, and I think in our family, if we were 10 children at one time, there was probably I guess, two of us who are very athletic, more than anybody else. And we still remain very athletic. And that's one of my older brothers, Tony, and I. We always have worked out. And my father, he was a boxer when he was young. He always worked out. I showed you the picture of him with his muscles like this in the last webinar. And I always thought, like, yeah, you know what? That's interesting, because I was always very athletic. I was always told, that I was always very strong. And I continue to be athletic and strong even at this age. So another question, what activities in your past do you remember doing easily and effortlessly? What do you find easy now? So what are some of those activities? I think these are the questions you need to ask yourself, because these are the questions that define you. Who you are has been with you all along. And it's really important for us to recognize that you came into this existence with these talents and gifts. And it's important to connect with those. When was the last time you experienced real joy? What were the circumstances around that? And I think sometimes when I ask people that, that's one of the more challenging questions that I ask. When was the last time you felt real joy? It's kind of hard to say, isn't it? But connect with that real joy. And it might say a lot about you. Another question, what would you regret not fully doing, being, or having in your life? Would it be traveling? Would it be being of service? Would it be a different job or a different kind of vocation? I mean, what would it be? If you could get a message across to a large group of people, who would those people be? What would your message be? Kind of cool, huh? If I could say something to a large group of people, I'd probably say something like, open your eyes, or wake up to who you really are as a spirit being having this human experience. You're powerful. You're powerful beings, and you're valuable. And that would help them to connect with how valuable they are. So when you get the ebook and you start answering these questions, keep the answers to these questions in mind, because they'll help you build positive motivation as you become more excited about your life's calling, or maybe even your purpose in life. Know in your heart with total certainty that there is a special place in the world that only you can fill. Only you. You're so unique. And it always amazes me, no matter where I go and how far I go, how unique everyone is. I look throughout, I travel so much, and as I travel, I look around me. Oh, and there may be people who remind me of people I know, but everybody's so different. And everyone is so unique. And the billions of people on this planet, it's astounding, isn't it? Amazing. So be determined to create or find this you, and discover what you love, what inspires you, and what excites you. And then be able to use your talents and your gifts and your strengths fully. Follow where your heart leads and your soul leads you, because that's what you're being pushed to do. That is your purpose. But you've had it all along. Only you can determine what that is by thinking about your life experience from when it began, as far back as you remember, and how things have been evolving till now. Now, when it comes to callings, if you're at a point in your life where you're not sure what you need to do, which path to take, or whether you're doing the right thing, it's probably because your soul wants to delve deep within yourself and find what you truly want from your life. Your soul's trying to guide you towards your life's path. Take a moment to think of what really matters to you, what you really want to do that you haven't done so far, that would probably make you happy. And that's probably one of the answers, that will settle any confusion you may be having about your purpose or callings or vision. All the answers truly are within. A calling is a strong inner urge to follow, or an occupation, a vocation, or a path, and it's unique to you, your personality, your traits, talents, and most of all, your values. Your values are the greatest thing that you have, will depend on the kinds of callings that you're drawn to. Callings refer to your doing. This is what you do in order to fulfill the meaning of what you believe is the reason for you living. So the callings are very tied in to purpose. to what's your values are also tied into purpose, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I think you've got to take it all together. What do I believe is my purpose in life? What have I been called to do throughout my life? What are the values that have always been there? And how does that relate to serving others? Because when you start to piece these things together, you begin to see what you're meant to do basically in your life that brings joy, satisfaction, fulfillment. Throughout your life, your callings surface over and over again, sometimes in obscure ways or in areas that are easily ignored. Your callings are many, and they can be contextual and change throughout your lifetime. Then you're called to be students or spouses or parents or caretakers and workers. And most of the time, we're moved to live out several callings at the same time. I can be a mother, a sister, a wife, a president of a company, and the servant, and at the same time, and a grandmother on top of it all. Other times we shift from one calling to another, often feeling a little bit lost and confused, wondering, well, where am I going? Where am I going? Now what's going to come my way? But all in all, we can say that there's no one calling, but rather a multitude of callings connected by the values that define us. And so values are really, really important. And the things that you value most are also very, very important. And I want to hear from you. I think it's really important that I hear a little bit about what you're thinking. I wish you'd write a little bit more than what LJ says, hello. I really want to hear from you because it's important that I can maybe frame this particular presentation to what your needs are. And if we have a dialogue going back and forth by questions that you might be asking, we have a better discussion. It's not just a one-way discussion. I really do want to hear from you. So write to me, okay? Write in that little special box there. But going back to values, your values are traits or qualities that are considered worthwhile. They represent your highest priorities and deeply held driving forces. Your values begin to form really early in life and are made up of all the experiences that you have had or have happened to you in your lifetime. Values also form out of those influences from your parents or caretakers, family, friends, religious affiliations, from education and whatever else you've been experiencing throughout your life. And values impact every aspect of your life and are more worthy of attention than are your callings. Sometimes even more worthy of attention than are your beliefs. I can say I totally believe in God. And that energy that responds to my thoughts and my intentions and my passion. That energy that responds to that I call God, that is always there and in everything. But let's say that one day, and I value God by far, and I believe in God, but let's say that one day science proved without a doubt that there absolutely is no such thing as God. This doesn't exist. Would that change how I value God or the things I do to honor God, like serve people or solve problems or help others or be compassionate or kind or empathetic? No, it wouldn't, because those are value-based. And your values are more powerful than are your beliefs. Your beliefs might crumble or be destroyed through time, but your values are always with you. They're always with you at all times. When you operate from your values, you'll have a deep sense of being grounded, along with an overwhelming feeling of personal satisfaction. You will discover that you are a valuable gear of a smooth driving mechanism, and your impact is far-reaching, no matter what you do or calling it you may be engaged in. Your values are the thing that most defines your purpose for living. So take a few moments to recall and list, even now or wait till you get your ebook, some of your most memorable callings. And next to each calling, list the values that was, or the value or values that were fueling those callings. So once you have the callings and the values, and you can prioritize your values and you can begin to see what is most important to you. For me, I can tell you off the top of my head, it's so easy. the one thing I value most is more relationship focused. I think everything we do is going to be relationship focused. And as you look at your relationships, those relationships you value the most, you begin to see what are the values that are behind them. And you'll be able to see what are some of the callings and the things that you do to satisfy those relationships that you value the most. And when you begin to see what you do to satisfy the relationship that you value the most, not only do you become aware of your values, but of your purpose. For me, it's really simple. For me, when I started to do this work many, many years ago, I started to think, well, what is the one thing I value the most? And it's my relationship with God. Now, it may not have anything to do with what your beliefs are, but again, my beliefs, and this is a very personal thing I'm sharing with you, is that God is in everything. God is the very core of all creation. That energy that I talked about, the response to your thoughts, images, intentions, that your passion, everything, that energy that responds to all of this, your energy and your emotions, your feelings, that energy that is at the core of all foundation of all existence is what I call God. Because that energy has come together to form subatomic particles and atoms and molecules, and those things have come together to form matter that's inanimate in nature. All matter in the universe that's inanimate in nature has that wonderful energy that I refer to as God, subatomic particles, atoms, and molecules. And in some amazing way, molecules and atoms and subatomic particles came together to form life, cell life, for one. And you have primary perception at the cell life, such as in plants and single cell animals. And that cell life found a way to unite and then form more complicated life. And then we have not only plants, but then we have animals and we have humans, and then we can reproduce ourselves. And it's quite amazing how at the very core of all existence is that energy that responds to our thoughts, intentions, our images, our emotions. And that energy we can connect to with our intelligence. Our intelligence is what connects us to that wonderful energy, and we have that relationship. But for me, and this is very personal, I'm telling you, I'm sharing a very personal thing with you. For me, that relationship I have with God means to me that I serve other humans, I serve other creatures, I serve inanimate matter, I serve my planet. I do what I can to serve all existence and help to solve problems and to be able to be of service, to do good things and not do bad things, but good things. And that's problem solving to me. That's the most important thing that I have. That's my greatest value and the relationship I value the most. Next to that, it's a kind of a hierarchy, is myself. And it might sound selfish to say that, but it's important that you understand why I put myself next, because I feel that I believe that the relationship I have with myself needs to be one of love, of respect, of appreciation. That when I love, respect, and appreciate myself fully, then I will be the best I can be in spirit, mind, body, and emotions. And that's health. That is health from a very holistic perspective. And when I'm healthy from that holistic perspective, then I can better serve God by serving humanity and all other creatures and all other existence, and solve problems, not create them. But if I'm sick in any one of those aspects, whether spirit, mind, body, or emotions, I'm not fully healthy. And if I'm not fully healthy, I can't serve God and all existence in the best of my ability. And then after me, it's a relationship I have with my husband. It used to be our children when they were younger, when they were little, because we chose to bring them into this world, and it's our responsibility to mentor them and teach them well and nurture them and love them. But now that they're all grown, then my husband has moved up after me. He's my life partner. He's got my back. He's my soulmate. I'll do anything to make him happy, as I know he would do anything to make me happy. And so these are the things that I find really important. And I know he feels the same way. And so again, I honor that relationship. I value it. and I do things. I pay attention to detail. I make sure that he's happy, that he feels and knows that he's loved, that I'm aware of his needs. And then I do basically the same thing, then obviously with my children or our children, and then family, extended family, including yourself. That's why I'm here doing webinars, that hopefully I can share ideas and concepts with you, because I really want to serve you in every way I can. And then you're part of my extended family. You're part of my family. And of course, all other creations, such as my pets and my plants and our planet Earth. That's my hierarchy of what I value most in life. But in understanding that, the things I value most and the relationships I have, because everything in life is a relationship, then you're able to see what you do is reflective of your purpose in life. Zena is asking that she's looking forward to an exercise at the end. Zena, I don't know if I'm going to have an exercise at the end, but I promise you that I will be sending you a link to an exercise that you can listen to on your own. But make sure that you first listen to it with eyes open before you do it with eyes closed. She says, I've been busy doing a lot of different things in my life, and I can't understand what should I choose. I know what I like the most, but don't know how to achieve it. I think when you know what you like the most, you'll be able to start thinking about it in the way that we've been discussing. Notice what you value the most, the relationships that you value the most, and what you do to satisfy those relationships. And then you'll be able to piece together the things that maybe, or the path, you'll be able to create the path that will lead you to those to your purpose, basically, to the right choices and decisions. You're also going to learn how to create a vision for yourself for a life. Now, we don't always know what we want or what's going to be, but you know a vision that contains health and happiness and love and abundance and inner peace and deep joy. I mean, a vision where you see and feel and experience yourself having all those wonderful things, because once the vision is there, the doors begin to open to that. And I think it's really important that you have that vision moving forward. So I hope that we continue to have some ideas as to how to craft those beliefs, those understand the callings, the lessons that we get from our callings, to answer the questions that we have, an idea as to what we love to do and have always loved to do. Create the hierarchy of what we value most and the relationships we value most and the things we do to honor those relationships. All these things will certainly expose your purpose in life, what brings great satisfaction and joy into your living experience. And once you have your values, you can prioritize them in order of importance. So you can make a list of the qualities that best describes you, such as passionate and energetic, cheery and happy, hardworking or focused, whatever it might be. That's another good way. What are some of the qualities that best describe you? Make a list of action words that you connect with, such as educate and accomplish, or empower and encourage, or improve, help, give, guide, inspire, integrate, master. These are action words. Motivate. I like to nurture people. I like to organize and produce. I like to promote. I like to travel. I like to share, satisfy, understand, teach, write. Whatever, all these are action words. So qualities and action words are really also that define you or describe you, are also a really good way to connect with your purpose. And then you can list everything and everyone that you believe you can help: people, creatures, organizations, causes, groups, environments. In other words, whom do you want to do it for? And so when you know your qualities that describe you, action words that also describe you or that you resonate with, and then you have what are those people or causes you can help, then it helps you to identify more of who you are. And then you can identify your end goal and how your actions will make an impact and what you do, or what do you want to do, and what outcome do you want to seek as well. So in the ebook, you're going to have a lot of that information to help you structure an actual statement or even a belief that can help you to define more about you, your values, your callings, your purpose, your qualities, the action words, your causes, and all these things can be put into a simple statement that you'll be able to write out for yourself that will help you to define more of, or identify, or recognize, acknowledge your purpose, your great purpose in life. And it's going to be really helpful for you to do your assignments. I really hope that you do your assignments. I can give you an example of what you can write. And basically, I mean, because when you do write, the qualities you have and the action words that best describe you, and you tie it into some of your causes, the people that you want to help, you basically have, a written statement of what your purpose is, basically. And then you can create your vision and assume that you now live in a perfect world, and describe, what does that look like? How are people interacting with each other? What are you feeling when you think about this wonderful future, when you create your vision? And then you can write it as a statement in the present tense, describing the ultimate condition, the perfect world as you see it, hear it, and feel it. For example, humanity is enlightened, living in peace and harmony, expressing love and compassion towards each other and the planet, and joyfully living their highest purpose. I mean, I know it sounds like woo-woo and airy-fairy, but you know what? What else do you need? I mean, you create this vision for yourself that creates the path that you're going to take. And when you combine everything, you can say, my calling in life, when you put it all together, is to use my love of life and optimism. Those are qualities of mine. To evolve and enrich my life, evolve and enrich our action words in every way possible. This is the purpose, the vision, so as to live a life of amazing joy, love, health, and abundance. You see how that works? And that's a purpose statement. So again, my calling in life is to use my love of life and optimism to evolve and enrich my life in every way possible, so as to live a life of amazing joy, love, health, and abundance. So it could be for work. My calling in my work is to use my passion and knowledge, because I have those two, passion and knowledge, to awaken, those are action words, and empower others. This is the purpose, to their true nature and human potential with the Silva method, tools, and techniques, so they can live the life of their design. Now, if it was for my husband, it can be contextual. I can say, my calling as a wife is to use my love and acceptance, those are qualities, to appreciate and honor, those are action words, my husband in every way, so as to maintain an amazing, loving, caring, affectionate, passionate, and supportive marriage until death do us part. Now it's your turn. So when you get your ebook, you're going to have there an area where you can say the very same things I did and blend them together to create a statement just like I just did and shared with you. And it's going to be reflective of your values and deepest intentions, and you're going to connect with your life purpose and create your hierarchy of the relationships that you value the most. So it's just a really great way for us to start to hatch out, discover, expose, acknowledge that, what you're here to do. And your vision, just remember, is built into your calling. More specifically, the answer to some of the questions that you have there about vision refers to the big picture. It describes what you intend to create. It can also lay out the path to how you're going to achieve your purpose and calling, who is going to benefit from it, the general direction that you're going to take, and the outcome that you desire to achieve. Your vision is what's going to keep you motivated. It is charged with desire, belief, and expectancy, things that you know so well. It requires a process of writing your goals so as to create your map of life. With a clear vision, you're able to get to your destination or someplace even better than that. Remember that. And you can avoid going around and around in circles, wasting precious time and energy when you have a destination in mind. Your vision is your general destination, and then everything else will fall into place to make that a reality. It may seem that sometimes you take 3 steps forward and then maybe 2 steps back, but that's okay. You're still ahead a step. You're still moving forward in the direction of your choosing. Your vision does not need to be your exact outcome, and like your calling, it can change, throughout time. So be gentle and flexible with yourself, but you're forming it. You're living a life that's on purpose, a life of purpose more than anything else. Not as what it, you don't ask the question, what is the purpose of my life? But let me then instead live a life of purpose and on purpose. And that you create. And you can upgrade your life and modify your vision or change the course altogether. It's your choice. Take charge of your life. You were born with free will, with the ability to make choices and take your life in the direction of your choosing. So stop wasting time wondering what your purpose and callings and visions in life are. Instead, create them and go forth with gusto. It's your call. Remember that. And I just, just really happy that you all have been here with me tonight. I know, it hasn't been exactly easy, and for me this past week, having lost my sister, but you know what? I know she's in a better place, and for us, the place starts here on earth. While we're here, we have this aspect of life to live with joy and health and happiness and love, and you have to choose the path. And if you're waiting around to wonder, what is my purpose in life? You're wasting time. Live a life on purpose. Live a life with purpose. You choose that purpose, and you use your talents and your gifts to make that decision and that choice. You're going to make great things happen for you. And you have the power to do that. Sufan says, Dear Laura, thank you for your webinar. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still waiting. Oh, for the MP3 programs. Okay, I'll make sure. I thought you had already gotten them. Okay, we'll make sure. And then Hercules says, I found my unique passion and purpose and have dedicated my life to helping others with my uniqueness. I am very active in my community and blessed with a wonderful wife and some very awesome relationships. I feel deeply connected with the divine and am actively engaged in my life work. My challenge is transcending my current level of activity and reaching more people. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that, Hercules. It touches me deeply to hear you say that. And I think when we recognize the fact that we came to this world, in connection and in relationship with others. We live in relationship with others. Success always happens in relationship with others. What we really have to focus on are our relationships. And I think when you really start to look at the relationships you value most in life, whether they be spiritual or physical, whether it be human or animal or inanimate or plant, those relationships really do define the things that you do in those relationships to support them, really do define your purpose in life. And I think it's really important. And I really thank you for sharing that very, very much. So please do remember that you will get an ebook and the follow-up email and an exercise, and that you will be able to have with you on hand a way to fulfill your assignments. I want you to do your homework, okay? You promise that you'll do your homework, okay? I'm counting on you, because you will find your purpose, your talents, your gifts, your qualities, and your callings, and your values that define who you are and the wonderful, unique reason why you're living here in this world today. Thank you, Sufan. I appreciate that. You're sorry about my sister. I appreciate that. She, I know, is in a better place, and that brings peace to my heart. Thank you, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you again. Let me see. We have our next webinar, and based on what you've been asking, we're going to have this webinar in June on the 14th, okay? And it's going to be Breaking Addictive Patterns. Now, I want to share a little bit of something with you. I have had lots of experience there, especially during my most challenging times in life, whether they were addictive patterns of behavior or the kind of people that I attracted into my living experience, the things that you do over and over again that don't bring any rewards, and how to identify them and start breaking them. Plus, I did smoke for a good while, and I broke that pattern, and I did have some weight issues, and I broke that pattern. So it happens in all kinds of things, relationships, or it could be abuse of anything. It could be in how you treat others and how you relate to others. So these are patterns that can be a little addictive sometimes, and we can break them. If they're taking away from the joy of your life, then we need to get rid of them. And we'll talk about that on June 14th, same time, same place. So I look forward to seeing you there. And if you have any questions about addictive patterns that you want me to prepare for, then write them in there, and I'll be happy to start preparing for that webinar, and I'll see you then, okay? Love you guys. Really enjoyed being with you, and I'll see you soon. And I hope you enjoyed the ebook and the meditation. Okay, let me know how you like it, all right? Okay, see you later. Bye.